Alright guys, hello, welcome to episode 1 of the Dokkan free-to-play beginner's guide. Now, I know there's already, some beginner guides by the big head, the Truth DT, like the Dokkan King, I guess you could say. But the thing is, I realized whenever I was watching his series with the Iron King, that they never really take into account for free-to-play players about purchasing the packs. So for example, right, there are some packs that Iron King has bought that comes with tickets, stones, box space, potential orbs, and a bunch of other stuff. So I would like to take this time to express, as a free-to-play player, how would you basically get all this stuff without having to pay for it. But also I kind of want to start this off for people who haven't played the game before, and kind of guide them along the way to basically, give them a chance to play the game as a fresh player who doesn't want to spend any money and wants to kind of take it casually. So I'm going to take this time to say, I'm going to put my nickname here. Let's just go with something good old fresh. Let's just go with this, usually I go with the name Vetsato, as is the name of my channel, but, Vetsa is just kind of like a short way to do it. I kind of like to do it like that. I will say, some very important stuff to take into account for the beginning of the game, is that, not everything is going to be available to you because it is locked behind the panel missions. Also, I'm going to go ahead and turn the game down here because it does play the copyrighted music for the Broly movie. So I'm going to turn it down here. But basically, for every single new character, there's going to be a video that plays, kind of showcases the character's animations, to kind of get you excited for what you're going to be summoning for. Now, the biggest thing about this game is that you need to have a team, right? Building teams is the most fundamental part. And if you don't have that availability, then it kind of ruins the entire experience. But that's what I'm going to try to help you explain here. And we're going to kind of go over, how to build a team that would work for a beginner player, such as someone who may be watching this video. But yeah, so the first thing first, right, that we want to do, right, is we want to look at what we've got available to us. Now, I will say I have played this game not like every single day, but like off and on since the legendary physical androids came out. So back I think it was like year 4, year 3. So I've been playing this game for a long time, but I do not have the experience that some of these other Dokkan tubers have. But I will say I did reach 1,000 logins the other week, so but let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, we have our beginner missions with the panels. Now, the biggest thing about these panels is that they actually help us build a team that will help us get through a lot of the, not really major difficulty, but a lot of the easier content to let you get characters upgraded to be able to do the harder stages. So what we're going to do here is I want to kind of go through until panel 5 or panel 6, right? Because this is kind of where the big stuff is to get your characters fully leveled up, and then I'll kind of tell y'all where you can go. So first what we're going to do is, as you can see here, from this, we have one of each of the Saiyan Saga characters. So we start off with a Goku for free, right? That's who you saw with flying on Nimbus earlier. And now we have this Gohan and Piccolo, this Krillin, this Yamcha, the Tien, and the Chaozu. These are the characters that were recently added for the beginner missions, I believe about a year ago from today. So, it's pretty... these characters are pretty relevant for free-to-play characters, and they're actually pretty good. Now, these are awakening medals. These are what the medals that you use to be able to awaken an SSR character to like a UR. So as you can see here with the Krillin here, if you go to growth, and then you go to their UR, right, you can see that the medals that they take are the ones that we were just given. And then the Dokkan Awakening is a whole other story. You need these medals that you actually get later on panel missions. But for other characters, you can get these medals through various means. So there's going to be like free-to-play events, Dokkan events, whatever we can find, right? So we're going to go ahead and just talk about that. And these are our training items. So we have training items will be used to basically level up our characters. And then we have our training locations, which kind of amplifies the effects of the training items. So we also need a hefty amount of Zenny, which is the in-game currency, as you can see in my top right. Not the stones, not the orange one, but the money, the silver one. That is going to be very important for us later on down the line. Now, the reason I chose this time to make this guide is because they memorial stones, which is basically a reward given out for the amount of stones you spent in the past year. They were just recently given out, and it's the end of the I guess you could say the end of the Tanabata. So that means that, you know, like a bunch of new stuff is going to come, and it's going to help out, you know, with kind of teaching players, you know, what to expect from events and stuff from the drier side of Dokkan, you know. So this is our gift box we get. So we still have a bunch of free stuff from this date. So we have the Daima release collab. We have just from the beginners, you know, for introductions, for the campaigns, login bonuses, which are, I'd say, probably some of the better rewards for a campaign for a starting login bonus, and then tutorial bonuses. So we're going to go ahead and claim this. Sorry if my voice is a bit weird right now. I'm a bit under the weather. So at this point in time, what we want to focus on is learning how to train up our characters. So if you go to the team tab, and then you go to we're going to go ahead and make a team for these characters. We're going to go to team, and we're going to select this team, right? You want to just click on team formation because it's basically the fastest way to do it. Now, if you're wondering where we got the rest of these characters from, it's because when you start the game off, it'll actually give you a free multi-summon for not a current banner, but for a beginner banner that you don't get to see what characters are featured on. But they're alright. But post EZA, which I'll talk about later, they are a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. And we're going to add the new SSR Piccolo and Gohan, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, and Chiaotzu. Make sure to have Goku in slot 1, this Nimbus Goku right here, because if you don't, you will not get the leader skill bonus. The leader skill is what gives stats to all the characters that are in your party, and if you don't have someone who gives a buff to all characters, they will be significantly weaker. So, for example, this Gohan, right, and Piccolo, they lead only AGL types, which are these types in the top left right here. So the typing is pretty important because it helps with doing damage and tanking damage based off of a type wheel. Kind of like Pokemon, if you will. But, you know. And so we're just going to keep this as our party, right? And we're not going to go into any stages yet until the beginner guide calls for it. So until the beginner missions call for it. Because I have to explain the entirety of the game mechanics in another video. So we're going to go ahead and focus on growth. So right now what we can do is well, first of all, let's go back to our panel missions. So if you look at our panel missions, our first couple missions are Undergo Training and Z-Awaken, right? Z-Awaken is what I showed off earlier with getting the standard medals and awakening them, but not the Dokkan Awakening. So the second stage, but not the third stage for these TOR characters. So this stage right here. So what we want to do here is we want to train up these characters to get to max level. So the easiest way to do this, and honestly I kind of recommend it, just click auto on the middle training items, so we can just get them up to max level, because we do have 150 of each of the cells and the Z swords, so we might as well use that. So this is Awakening, and this is what will get our characters to 2 UR. So first is Z Awakening. I'm going to do that later. Z Awakening, again, it just kind of boosts their stats and increases our level cap, but other than that, it doesn't really change their kits. But when you go through a Dokkan Awakening, their kits will change significantly. So as you can see here for Chiaotzu's, his attack and defense goes up by 100%. He gets 100% with 12 key or more, he gets a high chance to dodge, and then he changes randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres. But if you go to his Dokkan Awakening, right? First of all, look, the Leer skill changes, the attack changes, so you get better stats with his attacks, and the amount of stats he gets, so you get 140% now instead. He has a great chance. I'm going to explain the great chance and high chance. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it right now. So, a great chance means it's a 70% chance. A high chance means it's a 50% chance, and a rare chance is 20%, while a chance is 30%. And then if it just says dodges all attacks, then it's a 100% chance to dodge, or 100% chance to do its additional super attack. So what we're going to do now is, since Charizard is awakened, right, we're going to fully level him up later. Actually, you know what, just go ahead and do it. Just click auto again, go through it all, you know? Just get through it, la-di-day. So we're just going to keep on doing that. We're going to do this for every single one of the Sand Saga characters, but do not pick the wrong one. Make sure it's the ones we get from the beginner panel missions, because that is one of the most important parts of trying to get these characters to max level, is that you don't mess up what the beginner guide tells you, because then you'll be missing a character, and they will not be able to get their links. Sorry, not their links. They'll not be able to get their 100% for their hidden potential, which is again a system that I will explain later. But we're going to go ahead and get these guys all as the awakened, and then up to level 100. And then I think the game will tell us to, it's either make a team, or it's let me think, it's a clear stage with a team. So we may have to do that after this, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've done the panel missions, but yeah. So I kind of messed up the entire order of this, so that's my bad. But we do need to just awaken everything, make sure that they get to level 100, and then again, don't do the Dokkan Awakening. Just make sure you're doing only the Z Awakening, and yeah. So yeah. All right. So right now, we've gotten these missions done. So we've undergone training, and we've weakened all the characters. So just click the accept all button, and we'll get the rewards for it. So as you can see, we got 9 characters. These 9 characters, and we'll explain it in the next panel mission. Also, watch this. We got our first panel mission done, so that's going to be exciting, right? So once we're done with this, right? Now that we have the availability to the availability to go to the next panel missions, we're gonna go and explain super attacks. So super attacks are, we're gonna talk about that when we're in the fight. So as you can see here, we're gonna have to clear a stage after this. So we're gonna talk about super attacks, dodging, whatever in the next fight. So we got the level of super attacks, right? Super attacks are basically what happens whenever you get to max key in a fight, and you'll be able to launch a very powerful attack. So what we're going to do here, they gave us 9 of the characters. We want to use all 9 characters to do and level up a super attack. If you are skipping ahead and you summon it on a banner, do not do this for a character. You want to use those additional characters you get to be able to level up their hidden potential system, not their super attack level. There are certain characters that have certain partners that'll be able to level up their super attacks easier. For example, there are free-to-play Krillin characters that you can use to level up a Krillin character, but do not in any normal circumstances when it comes to summoning premium units, do not feed them into super attack. Make sure you are feeding them into their hidden potential system. So what we want to do here is, because we have these guys fully trained up, right, we are going to head off, and we're going to go to our next mission. So we're going to go look at our panel missions, right? We've gotten everyone. I forgot about Yamcha. Oh boy. Our boy Yamcha, how can I forget about him? So we gotta just do that real fast. All 9 of them, bada bing, bada boom. And Yamcha is now max super attack level. As you can see right here, I should probably also highlight this. The super attack level is right here with 10 out of 10. You can also use these other items. I'm gonna go with this cauliflower right here with this one. These are premium, like, Elder Kais, do not use these. I'd say probably these Elder Kai dozings are more expendable, so make sure you use these more often than the 100% chance, because they are very expensive. So go to panel missions, claim all, and then we're going to go to do the study hard, play hard, turtle school intensive training mode. So we can click on this and then go to attempt, but I'd rather show you guys where you have to go. So you're going to click on the start button. We're going to go to event. And as you can see here, we do not have challenge or Z battle available to us. We have story, bonus, and growth. If you are coming here because you are watched a video and this looks different from what you've seen before, it is because we recently had an update for the game where they changed it from story, growth, challenge, and Z battle to story, bonus, growth, challenge, and Z battle, where growth is now full of the Dokkan Awakening and the extreme Z areas. And we'll see that once I unlock them. And then bonus, we have all of these, which are basically our getting materials for certain things. So look, awakening medals, Zenny, we get training items, we get items, like normal items to use in battle, which I'll also go over later. So what we're going to do right now is we want to go to this stage right here. This is our study hard, play hard, turtle schools intensive training. This is a daily stage. You want to do this every single day. Now, what I do want to say is make sure to turn off scenario if you do not feel like reading a story every single time, because I know how repetitive it can get. So this is what our basic loadout looks like. So we get to see basically what character we're going to run into the game, but also we have a friend leader. A friend leader is randomly chosen based off of how your team is structured. So if you have a full team of, let's say, instead of like the Saiyan Saga, right, you had a full team of Frieza Saga, then they would choose a leader who led the categories Frieza Saga, or something like Space Traveling Warriors, right? So also we have a support memory in our bottom right. We do not have any right now because we get them later on after we get to a certain point into the beginner missions. But we have our support items. We have some from the login campaign. So to get a sort of a support item into your inventory, we're just going to go ahead and use one. We're going to use this recovery drink, which covers our HP. So we're gonna go ahead and start the event, because this is what we need to be able to get further in our panel missions. So at this point, we are fighting against Master Roshi. Now, if you look at this, the map traversal is it's pretty pretty boorish, I guess, but really it's just they're called nodes, but it's basically we just click one of these numbers and we go to the next node. So tiles. Sorry, not nodes. I don't know where I got nodes from, but it's titles. So just keep clicking it. And the thing that's so great about this stage is that you have chances to get the Elder Kais, that little super attacks and stuff, but also when you fight Master Roshi, you can level up something called Link Skills, and Link Skills basically boost your stats when in a fight and you are linked to a character that is a similar link. So we are in the start of the fight now. So yes, there's also a speed up button. I would highly recommend you keep this on, because the fights can get very long sometimes, and it's just very, very annoying having to have your speed up off. So I'd say keep it on speed up. Skip skill animation. I mean, if you want to keep watching your skills and your animations for active skills and intro skills, and for let me think, tag skills, I'd say just keep it on. But if you want to watch it like once per day, like it says right there, then you just got to click on play once per day. That's kind of what I do, is I play it once per day, and then we just continue on with our fight. So with our possessions, right, possessions just mean what we got into our in our tiles, and our items owned is what we have in our inventory, right? So this is kind of just tells us like what we already have and what we're looking for in case we have something we're looking for in these fights. Now, all right, so as you can see here with the wheel, right, we have physical, which is our yellow is good against purple, purple is good against green is good against blue, and blue is good against red. Now, I don't really think if you played Pokemon before, I don't think there's like a yellow thing that fire would be good against, but I just kind of think of it as, I don't know, like a weird Pokemon thing. But anyway, so because Chaozu, as you can see, is yellow, he would do more damage against Master Roshi, as you can see by the down arrow right there. So Roshi right now is in a state called Defense Down. Basically, characters can do status effects that will basically hurt these characters. So Roshi can So status effects include defense down and attack down, which lowers stats. Then there's stun, which makes the character not able to act for 2 turns. Then there's attack seal, which will make sure they can't use their super attacks. Then there's turn skipped, which some characters have those skills, and there are some items that will just skip turns entirely. They can also go attack up and defense up if they are a boss that does that. So keep that in mind. And there are other ones like they can hit through dodge, and they have a territory, which is basically like a field that they have for a certain amount of turns that will make it to where their stats are either higher or they are temporarily just kind of boosted while they're in that area. So right now we are playing against Master Roshi, and as you can see here, every character has this little wheel around them, right? So every character that is a ultra rare unit, every character that is below a legendary rare has a max of 12 ki they can get. So right now, and for every ki sphere you get, if it's of the same type, you get an additional ki sphere. Other characters have it where they will get another ki sphere no matter what. Another ki no matter what, and other characters can do it for rainbow orbs. So for Yamcha, we kind of want to get these red orbs. Even though we could just get these blue orbs, or any of these, or these blue orbs, right? We want to get these red orbs just because, it makes all the other fall down. And Yamcha is actually one of our better characters, I'd say, for a start, because he has, as you can see here, he gets additional super attacks. So basically, he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So he launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. And with every attack he does, he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and he lowers attack. Krillin, on the other hand, is just kind of meh. Like he's kind of like our support character, right? So when there is he already gives Saiyansaka allies 20% attack and defense, but he only has a medium chance of dodging, which is a 30% chance. And then there's also attack. He also has the all allies keep +1 attack and defense 20% up if there is a Kid Gohan on the team. So we do have that with the Gohan and Piccolo. The way it works is that every character has a certain name, and these names are pretty vital to certain other characters. Like there are some, like there's like a Goku Black clone, right? There are various names for them. So there's like a Goku Black clone, and Goku Black clone is different from a Goku Black. So if they say we need to have a Goku Black but Goku Black clone excluded, that means that Goku Black clone will not be able to trigger certain support for certain characters. So that's pretty important to note. So Chaozu, we can just kind of get whatever we want right here, because he's going to super attack. This boss is pretty weak. All you gotta do is just kind of like hit it once, and this is a super attack. So super attack plays this animation and it has the card yelling out their attack basically, which is for him it's Spirit Ball, and Master Roshi is KO'd. We get training items, we get our XP for the characters, and these are the link levels, link skills. So link skills are very important because they boost a character stats if they have the similar link skills to them. So this is very important. Make sure you do this Make sure you train up their characters, because if you have a character who is only at level 6 links, they will not be at max capacity, and they'll be missing like they could miss like up to like 3 million attack stats. It's pretty bad. So with that, we have beaten the Turtle Hermit stage. With every single level we do, other than challenge events, we get XP, and it increases our rank. And what our rank does is that it gives us more and more stamina that we can hold for max capacity and other stuff. When you're just starting out, if you don't have a certain amount of stamina, also look, 32 missions, wow. If you don't have a certain amount of stamina when you're starting out, you will not be able to start the mission. So, for some stages cost like 80 stamina, so I wouldn't be able to do those missions. I think that one is this pan. This pan takes it takes 40 now. Okay, so they changed the event. It used to take like 80 and 100, so now it takes only it only takes 40 now. And again, make sure to do this Turtle Hermit stage every single day, because you have a chance of just getting so many good items and so many just link level skills up with that. So just make sure to do that. Yeah, so there we go. That is the second panel mission done. So we're gonna go ahead and just claim our panel missions, and bada bing bada boom, that is panel 2 done. And we're only, wow, we are not far at all. So I've been taking a little time to explain this, but hopefully it should be a lot easier. Now we're going to go talk about the hidden potential system in this game. So if you can check here, right, there's a hidden potential system that is in this game that is very important. So basically, I'm just going to explain this because it's faster, but for every character that is a UR, which is the the rainbow symbol next to their character on the left, the URs have a potential system that you can level up, and this will boost their stats, boost their certain like categories of just, how do I say this? I'm sorry. It boosts these like the potential skills. There we go. Combo attack, critical hit, dodge, which is this. Evasion, type attack boost, type defense boost, super attack bonus, and recovery boost. So honestly, this is just kind of like a thing where you can just go. You can click activate all, and it will activate all these. And bada bing, bada boom, we now have we have 55% of this character awakened. And I don't think I messed up, but I really hope I didn't. Yeah. So we want to do this for Goku. And this, as you can see now, he has 2,000 more stats for all of his, for his HP, tech, and defense. And he now has a level 5 additional attack boost, which basically in game does translate to he has now a 5% chance to get an additional attack that has a chance to be a super attack. So it's not guaranteed to be a super attack, but it's guaranteed to be an attack. But there's a chance to be an attack. So yeah. And honestly, if we want to, we can just go ahead and do it for the rest of the characters, because we did get the orbs from the panel mission. So we're just going to go ahead and get all these guys to 55%, which is what you can do if you have a character at super attack level 6 and you only have one dupe of them. So whenever a character has hidden potential system unlocked, they will have the star next to them will glow. So just like for Yamcha, right, the star next to his UR is glowing right up there. And yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and clean the missions right here. And with this, we do have the additional characters. We have 4 of each. We have to use these to awaken their hidden potential system. Their hidden potential routes. So the best order to do these hidden potential routes is bottom right with because bottom right has basically like some of the highest amount of stats, but it also has the 4 stars. The stars mean you can pick between whatever it kind of like gives you. So we're gonna click on one, right? One of them gives you additional or crit. So you gotta pick one of these, and then some of them give like a evasion and crit, and then this one up here, the top one, is the most important because you can choose between any 3 of them. So we're gonna go ahead and unlock the potential system for all the characters that we have in our box. Um, bada bing, bada boom. And look at that. So now that we have that, I would recommend just go ahead and doing an upgrading them, because what we're just gonna do is, again, when it comes to this, do not accidentally go to these Gokus that are level 1 and try to feed any of the other Gokus into it. Go to the level 120 Goku and feed the level 1 Gokus into that. I've made this mistake before, and it cost me an entire account. And I do not want to go through that again, because that was 30 minutes of recording, and I don't want that to happen again. So bada bing, bada boom, look at that. And we got Chaozu, so we're going to just do that for Chaozu as well. Man, this is always like the boring part, where it's like, I'm just kind of clicking away and doing stuff. Yep. We're going to do it for the rest of the characters. So, I guess, I mean, if anyone does end up seeing this, and I'll be really happy if it does, actually make a difference for some people who are just starting out the game, right? What kind of games have you been interested in recently? Because I really need something to kind of like, not play as a mobile game, but also there's one game I'm excited for, probably, and I've said it a lot, but it's Pokemon Legends ZA. And that game, I'm just really excited for, to see what kind of new Mega Evolutions we get, and the new battle system. But yeah, if there's any other games that are like coming out recently, or that have been out, that you kind of want to tell me about, I really appreciate it. So yeah, there we go. Alright, now characters are all at 55%. Now, if we go back to our panel missions, right? Sorry, 50% with all the routes unlocked, we have now done all of this. So, now we have all these missions done. And that is number 3 out of 7 done. So now we unlock Dokkan events, Extreme Z areas, Quest, and World Tournament, right? We won't be worrying about any of that yet. Now we have the hidden potential amount. So we're going to go ahead and just get that over with. We're going to go ahead and rip that cold, hard Band-Aid off, and just go ahead and just hit all on all these guys, because the thing is, right, that the stars are so important, because they're kind of how you want to build your characters fully. And if you mess it up, it'll cost you a Dragon Stone or a copy of that character to be able to change it. So you don't want to mess those up. So I just want to keep them like this for a little bit, because it just kind of keeps it that way. I will say, though, actually I will go back. There is one universal one that you want to have, and it's for your top right star. You'll have between type attack boost and super attack boost. Get the super attack boost, because that'll boost your damage significantly more than just doing the type attack boost. Because type attack boost is only effective for doing damage against the type that is strong against, but super attack boost is basically like indiscriminate. It will always do more damage against certain types. So it will always do more damage against every enemy. So as you can see, right now every character has the same stats. Like Krillin has 3,000 HP attack and defense, but if you saw Yamcha earlier, right, he doesn't have that. He has 250 more attack, but 40 less defense. So not every character has the same stats they get from doing the hidden potential system. So not everyone has that 15 super attack. Very important. Okay, so now we're gonna just go ahead and clean the panel missions, because that's what we were asked to do. Bada bing, bada boom, look at that. So now we got the Awakening medals, and we'll see in the next panel what it wants us to do for that. So, what we want to do for this now is we have to Dokkan Awaken all of the characters, right? And from doing this, we do get these Extreme Z Awakening medals, and these Extreme Z Awakening medals will basically help us take our Goku, and it'll strengthen him past his legendary rare state. Now, not every legendary has this. This is Dokkan Awakening. As you can see, it changes their art, and he changes from his Nimbus Cloud to his Quiet Wrath from the Saiyan Saga, whenever he saw all of his friends dead on Earth. So we're just going to go ahead and honestly, we don't want to do max growth here. We're just going to go ahead and give him a training location because he is going to be an LR, and LRs are significantly more expensive in terms of training equipment to level up. So we kind of want to save as much of our training equipment as possible instead of our training locations, because training locations, I'd say, they're not as strong as training equipment. So we're just going to go and stop there. And then we're going to do the same thing for all of the characters. Now again, when we Dokkan Awaken, we change them back to level 1, but we change their entire kit. So their kit can have like more stamina, sorry, not more stamina, sorry, more defense, more attack, more dodge, more dodge, more additional supers, and the best one, I'd say the best stat in this game is critical, because critical is kind of what gives you your damage. You ignore defense, you don't ignore damage reduction, which I think is probably the worst thing, but you do ignore defense, and you do ignore type disadvantage. So, you'll be able to do a lot of damage with that kind of thing. So we're just kind of awakening everyone. And don't worry, I did not forget about Yamcha this time. Yamcha is right there. For some reason, he's just always last on my list. I really don't know why. So, bada bing, bada boom. Everyone is now Dokkan Awakened, and they are now all level 120. So these are basically the highest stats we're going to see from them without equipping any skill orbs, which are basically a thing you can get that will let you boost your stats or boost just your your potential skills, like the combo attack or the critical attack, whatever. So with this now, we have 45 of these Extreme Z Awakening medals. Now, again, what Extreme Z Awakening does is, if the character is at max level, you can then Extreme Z Awaken them, and it will get them. It will give them, if it is a TUR. So let's say, for example, that Krillin could Extreme Z Awaken. His max level will be changed from 120 to 140. But Goku is a legendary character, so that doesn't happen. Alright. So, now that Goku is in a state, right? He now has his leader skill changed. His super attack has been changed. Also, I should also mention this. When he is an LR, all LRs get 2 super attacks. A ultra super attack and a super attack. Super attacks can be achieved with only 12 ki, while an ultra super attack takes 18 ki. So now that we have that, we are going to look at also his passive. Now, what you choose in hidden potential system is up to you. But as for Goku, right, he, as you can see here, I should also mention guard and damage reduction. So damage reduction basically takes whatever number is about to hit you and kind of like multiplies that by that percentage. So if an enemy does 100,000 damage to you and you have 30% damage reduction, you only take 70,000 from that. Kind of think of it like that way, right? Now Goku, the way he works, right, as you can probably read here, right, is that he gets an additional super attack after being attacked. So you want to put him in slot 1, because it kind of gives him, better stats, and just it'll kind of boost how he performs in the fights. So you also make sure you have super class allies to get his stats up. But yeah, so with this guy, I'd say the only thing you don't want to build him off of is crit, because he does already have a 60% chance of crit. So you could just build him with dodge and hopefully, dodge all the attacks from the enemies, not take any damage. Or you could just do an additional super attack, which is kind of what I do, where I just give him full additional and hope for the chance to do additional attack. But again, safest bet is just always dodge, I'd say. For certain characters that are kind of not in the meta right now. But yeah, so with the beginner guys, we are now set to, after we Extreme Z Awaken Goku, yes, we also do want to use these Elder Kais, because the only way to level up a Extreme Z Awakened character's super attack is by getting them to a super attack level 24 or 14 or higher. So there we go with that. Now that we have that underway, I'm just going to go ahead and claim these missions, because these are just from the celebration, right? Now we have these beginner missions. We have 2 more we have to do. clear any stage, and clear any Dokkan event. Now, the thing that's great about this team is that they can clear any Dokkan event in the game. So what do I mean by a Dokkan event? Dokkan event is, if you look at growth now, we now have this event right here. It's called Dokkan. Dokkan events basically gives us the medals to be able to Dokkan awaken certain characters. So actually, you know what we're going to do? Instead, we're going to go ahead, because this is just beginner guide, right? We're going to go ahead and just kind of like play with a couple things. We're going to go ahead and claim the missions that we've gotten from just doing the base game. So as you can see, we have 2 daily missions done, 51 normal missions, and 27 event missions. So we're just going to go ahead and claim all of that, right? Normal missions don't really give them many rewards, but definitely do the normal mode missions, because the event missions, because look at the amount, like you get 30 from that compared to the 51 from that. This is just kind of basically like, also look, ready? Look, support memories down here. These are kind of what gives you buffs in the stages, and you also have this. This is not that. This right here. I guess let me. Okay, well, the Z and the plus sign are character slots. You want as many character slots as you can get, because that kind of determines how many units you can keep in your inventory. So make sure to always be on the lookout for those. Now here's the thing. We are not strong enough to take on like most of these events. So we're just going to go ahead and, also something I should mention, very, very, very important, the Porunga Dragon Ball that you just saw me get way earlier, is not available forever. It is only available for this Broly event. So make sure that you know that the Porunga Dragon Ball is only for the Broly event. So, now that we have this, right, I am going to do 2 multi-summons on the Broly banner. Actually, scratch that. We're not going to do that. We're going to get these ticket summons over with. These ticket summons are what we get for the Memorial Dragon Stones / these are what we get for spending stones on the game. For every 50 stones, you get 1 Memorial Stone. For every Memorial Stone, you get 1 ticket, if you want to trade it that way. So we got these tickets for free because we logged in, and because these are beginner missions. So these are the beginner stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do a multi-summon, and hopefully we'll get something here that's worth it. So when summoning, you'll have Goku fly in, and you'll have characters fly in. There are certain combinations you want to get, like Gohan and Piccolo. Let me think. Goten and Trunks, Kid Trunks. There's an adult Trunks, or guys, future Trunks, and Kid Trunks. You want Kid Trunks and Goten. And Android 17 and 18, Krillin and 18, or just Krillin by himself. And then the rarest one you can get is either Whis or Beerus by themselves, Whis or Beerus together, or Whis and another character by themselves. That kind of guarantees you'll get the newest character, but if you don't get that, but if you get a Vegeta, if Vegeta flies in with a Beerus or a Whis, that means just guaranteed fusion, which means guaranteed featured or LR character. So we're going to go ahead and pull down here, and we're going to see this happen, right? There are 4 stages that I can go up to. They can go to 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's 1, it's nothing. If it's 2, it's nothing still. If it's 3, it's SSR. And if it's 4, it's featured unit. So as you can see there, with this ticket summon, we got basically nothing, right? So I can't even showcase what I want to do. So we are actually going to do a stone multi-summon on this Carnival banner right here. So as you can see right here, it says with 3 or more multi-summons with 7 points, right? Or I guess 3 more. So you get 7 points, right? And it's basically a new feature the game has added that you basically get, where if you get 300 summon points, you get to summon for a character that was previously that was previously released on a banner in the past half a year, right? So we're going to go ahead and just do 1 because it's double rates. So there is actually, if you look here, right, there is a, in normal summon, there is normally a 10% chance for a SSR and a 80% chance, a 90% chance for an SR or lower, right? So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do a summon, right? Because this is a 20% chance to get SSRs instead of a 10% chance, right? So pretty big. So right here, as you can see, we got Krillin, Tien, and and Vegeta. Unless we fuse with Vegeta to make Vegito, this multi means nothing. Rainbow text just means guaranteed SSR, so we pull down, and we get the Vegito animation. Vegito animation means either guaranteed featured unit, or when it comes to an LR or Carnival banner, they mean guaranteed LR. So, for example, I got this Gotenks. This Gotenks is actually still one of the top 6, or top 6 or top 7 green units in the game. So that's very, very helpful for a Majin Buu team, a Hybrid Saiyans team, or a Fusion team. King Vegeta is okay because he is what is known as a side bearer unit. This hit is trash. Do not worry about this hit. But Vegeta is a side bearing unit, so he would basically he basically came out with a Dokkan Fest, which is a higher rarity compared to a SSR. So Dokkan Fest, the way you can tell the difference is that, first of all, if you summon for it and it says Dokkan Festival, then it's a Dokkan Festival exclusive, then it's a Dokkan Fest. But also, if you go to Growth and you go to Dokkan Awakening, the side bearing units will cost 35 medals, and the main units will cost 77 medals. But if they're LR, it'll be like 21, 14, 35, 14, 14, right? So basically a lot of grinding. So with this Gotenks, right, we want to actually lock him up because he's pretty important. If you look at his growth, right, you'll see he wants Dokkan medals from this stage called Paragon of Hope. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and because we got this Gotenks, we can go to the Paragon of Hope stage, and we will start this off. Now, we can't access that stage yet, but we can go ahead and start on it. So we're going to go to the first one. We're going to do the first stage, and we're going to hopefully clear it pretty easily. So, actually, we are just going to clear it very easily. So, if you look at this, there are certain missions that we can do for these medals. These are more awakening medals for certain characters, but we can't do the last one because we don't have 2 fusion characters yet on this team. Sorry, on this count. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. And we're just going to do this Dokkan stage. The way it works, a Dokkan stage is literally just you fight the character you're trying to Dokkan Awaken in a series of fights. So it starts off, if it's an earlier stage, the stage will have only like one or two phases. But if it's a way later stage, if it's like a way later Dokkan Fest, or like a more recent Dokkan Fest, it'll have 4 phases. So first rotation right here, right? We want to have this Goku in slot 1, but we want to see what links kind of gets them have a higher attack stat. So, as you can see here, nothing really changes between these two. So we're going to go ahead and go for this one. Get as many orbs as you can for Goku. Get as many as you can for this guy, even though it doesn't really matter because they already have the super attacks. We'll just go ahead and do this. So, Goku gets attacked here, but he gets extra attacks and a super additional super attack. Look, he's already at 7 million, right? So, 7 million wasn't even an attack that was actually reachable in this game until the 7th year anniversary came out. So, this is actually pretty huge for these characters to be able to do that, because the 7th year anniversary is when the Red Zone stages were announced and released, / the hardest content in the game were released. So, we're just going to continue on. Every single Dokkan Fest has, unfortunately, a unskippable thing you can do, that you gotta do. So we're just gonna go ahead and straight off the bat. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is Yamcha's intro animation. Yamcha, the Dokkan Fest Yamcha, not the one that I have. So this is a different Yamcha from the Yamcha that you saw earlier. So this Yamcha is the free-to-play Yamcha, and this Yamcha is the Dokkan Fest Yamcha. Now, characters with the same name cannot link together. So if you put them next to each other in battle, they will not link together. And now I can explain to you active skills. Each character has an certain characters have active skills they can unleash whenever they have a certain condition set up. So for this one, it's all allies attacking its internal Earthbound fighters, or whenever a character evades 4 more enemy attacks in battle. So we can go ahead and activate this, and we will see the active skill animation. And you can tell me if this looks familiar. Because the cool / unfortunate thing about the new characters is that they reuse animations from old Dokkan Fests. Yeah, we got some link skills there. That's pretty good. So we're just gonna go ahead and get that. And with this, we have cleared the Dokkan Fest stage, and we get medals. Now these medals we unfortunately can't use for the character because they were not in his requirements. But we can just go ahead and use these to get the beginner missions done. I don't think I cleared it in 130 or 230. So I gotta go change that whenever I have my own chance to. But make sure you clear it in 130 or 230 because that way you can just get those Flying Nimbus medals, and those are pretty important for other characters. So we're going to go ahead and just claim these panel missions, and I'm pretty sure that means that we are done with this stage. So we are just going to claim the 5th panel, bada bing bada boom, and we are good to go. Alright, so this video is actually already running 50 minutes. Jeez. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stop this here because this is kind of the grindy part. We have to keep doing certain stages over and over again and learn how to do friend summons, the exchange shop in the bottom right, and all the other stuff. So I'm going to end this here soon, but what we're going to do for one last treat is I'm going to do a multi-summon on the Dokkan Festival Golden Frieza banner. Now, the way this works is that there's a Carnival banner and there's a Dokkan Festival banner. On a Dokkan Festival banner, whenever you get a featured character animation, it'll be for one of the characters that are featured on the banner. So if you look at the featured list, right, if I were to get a pair that I would need to be able to get a featured character, I would get either this Golden Frieza, this Vegeta, this Kaioken Goku, this Hit, the Diamond Mini Goku Super Saiyan, Glorio, or First Form Frieza. And we have all these SRs that are kind of like worthless to us. But that is basically what would happen here. But for a Carnival and for a legendary banner like this one, I did not mean to click that. If you go to featured, right, a featured animation can get us any of the characters that are featured here that are SSR. So we can get the Broly, or the Caulifla, or the Gotenks, or the Golden Frieza, or the Broly, or this other Broly, unfortunately, these are the side banner units, and they are featured, though. We can get any of these 4. So, not the greatest, but also kind of like, not the worst. But you can also, for a featured character animation, you can also get a random legendary that was released with golden coins. So there are a lot of decent ones, but they really aren't what we're fully looking for. But there is one that's like really good. It's a Cell Max that you can get that will link up really well with androids and super bosses and movie bosses. So we're just going to go ahead and do this multi-summon right here, just because it'll hopefully, if we can get a good character from it, it'll be a great start. And as you can see, my luck is terrible. So we're going to release on this. I probably should wear it differently. We could pull down, and hopefully, we'll see a miracle happen, but we unfortunately will not. We're going to tap through this multi because we know we're going to get utter doo-doo. And we got the Metal Cooler that is super old and doesn't do anything for our team. But there we go. Alright. So I think that's really all we can do. And yeah, so make sure whenever if you do these summons, make sure to claim your coins and your summon points, and I will talk about what they do in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.